All right. Peace and power and elevation be to all the beautiful people out there. This your only girl, Tiffany French, coming through here live in effect. So today I'm going to get into the topic. We still on Women History Month, but I'm gonna switch up on the concept about um the African deities and goddesses, right? So which they represent the feminine principle or the symbolic of the feminine being, right? So in this segment, okay, because there's going to be about 3 parts. All right. And in this segment, I am going to deal with the African goddesses of Nana Baluku and Mamu, or Mawawu Leza. So Nana Buluku and Mwalu Leza, okay, both are West African deity goddesses, right? That is part of the tradition of the Fon people, also the Dahomey tribe and the Iwe tribe, okay? So that's what they're a part of. They're part of the tradition. Again, they are a symbolic feminine, um, they are symbolic feminine what's the term that I'm looking for? Shit. I can't get the term out of my head. Hold on. So they are symbolic feminine symbols, right? They have meanings that represents the feminine principle, the feminine being. So, and you see that throughout the African culture. Now, the reason why I am choosing to do a topic as such, because again, goes back how the African spirituality and spiritual system work and how they intertwine and have a connection with nature using personification and anthropomorphism. Okay. And this is the sign of anthropomorphism and personification that is used to represent, the symbolic meaning of nature and the natural phenomenon in itself. So they use the feminine principle or figure to bring about symbolic meaning to the natural force around us. Okay. So excuse me, I wasn't as prepared today. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Peace to Brother John. Brother John, I didn't even know I forgot you was my Facebook friend. To be honest with you, I forgot I even had you on Facebook. That was so funny. Because that goes to show that we don't even communicate that much. But shout out to you, Brother John. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. I forgot you was on my Facebook page for a minute, to be honest. Anyways, now let me go ahead and get to the subject matter. Okay. So who is Nana Baluku? So let's talk about that for a moment. So I have some information. As a matter of fact, I want to show you. Oh, because I could have sworn it was your page one day that was on I could have sworn I had you on Facebook. Because I seen you on Facebook one day. You put a comment on one of my videos on Facebook. All right, so hello, Teddy. How you doing? How you doing, brother? Thank you for coming through. Peace. Peace be to you. How you doing? All right, then. So as you can see, this is the figure, right? Anthropomorphism or personification of Nana Buluku. Okay. So what does Nana Buluku? Okay, then my mistake. Well, that's probably somebody else, then my mistake. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying. All right, Nana Buluku is a feminine goddess. I mean, she's a goddess that's celebrated in the West African tradition, in the West African culture, like I said, amongst the Fong and the Iwe and the Dahomey people. All right, so let me share some information here. I just wanted to show you the image. So as you can see, the image is of a woman that's in the purple, and she got the shells around her, and she got on the wrap and all of that. And then I don't know what this is. It looked like a horn or something that she's carrying. Okay. So I just want to show that. So let's look into Nana Baluku. All right, so what does it say? So right here, I'm on face2faceafrica.com. I'm on this website. So let's see what it says according to the website, what she represents. Yes, the Dahomey are women warrior. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes. Okay. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up. All right, so anyways, so Nana Buluku, the reverend goddess and supreme deity of West Africa and the Caribbean. Okay, so according to this article, it says it was written by Elizabeth Johnson, and it says deep within the less studied African cosmology lies the Voodoo theology of the Fon people of Benin, which started during ancient Dahomey days. And the genesis of all these is the Nana Buluku, an ancient goddess in the image of an old woman who is believed to be the creator of the world, especially the cosmos, who took the back seat after birthing the sun and the moon, her twin children. She is believed to be the most reverend deity and the genesis of any form of worship and religion in West Africa. And it goes on to say, as a deity, Nana Buluku comes in other forms among various West African traditional society aside the Fon in Benin. She can also be found within the Iwe communities in Togo and parts of Ghana, as well as among the Akans. She is also strongly present and reverent in Nigeria among the Yoruba and Igbo traditional communities. Among the Fon and Iwe in Ghana, she is known as Nana Baluku or Nana Buku and Nana Koruku. Among the Yoruba of Nigeria, the Igbos of Nigeria refer to her as the Olisa Buluwa. The Akans of Ghana call her Nana Buruku. Among these societies, she is still actively worshipped as the mother goddess. Okay. So then goes on to say that Nana Buluku is said to have created the universe and given the birth to the moon and the sun. The moon is known as the divine spirit Mawu, and the sun as the divine spirit Liza. In many folk songs and tales that gives an account of her story, Nana Buluku retired after her hard work and left the world in the hands of her twin children, Mawalu and Leza. To date, because of this account, many traditional society fear and respect twins, especially those that come as boy and girl. All right, so as you can see, in each traditional culture, right, in various tribes, okay, in various tribes, Nana Buluku is known as the mother goddess who have created the universe. And because she created the universe, she has given birth to twins named Mawu and Leza. Okay, Mawalu represents the moon and Leza represents the sun. All right, so this is again goes back to cultural astronomy. All right, this goes back into the conversation that I had before about the subject about African cultural astronomy, and this is one of them. All right, so when I speak on why as Black people we're so connected, especially at nighttime, we so intertwined with the night, with the moon and the stars and all of that, the cosmos, because that's the way that we connect with the cosmos from a spiritual standpoint. And we tend to use personification and anthropomorphism to give it the symbolism to better understand the cosmology. All right. And that's the whole thing. So it was always represented either from a male principle or the feminine principle. Okay. So when you hear these terms or when you hear people chant out Oya or Ashun or any feminine deity, right? They not just talking about the deity from the physical female standpoint, right, from a human standpoint, but just a representation of what each deity stand for, as far as the principles, as far as nature goes, right? That's their way of giving reverence to nature, giving reverence to the natural phenomenon. Okay. All right. So, um, let's see. Let's see. Let me put up some more information. That's one information. All right, right here, what you're gonna see is the information come from Wikipedia. So, again, that's a picture of her. Okay. All right, that's her in the dress, carrying I don't know if it's like some type of cane. I'm not sure what she's carrying right here. Okay. So Nana as pictured in Candabole. So for those of you that don't know what Candabole is similar to Voodoo and Santeria and all those other practices. Very similar to the West African tradition. It's mostly practiced in Brazil. Okay, it's a culture that's practiced in Brazil, and the people that's mainly like the chief are the women. So they are referred to as the priestesses. Okay, so it's a main cultural practice in Brazil. All right. So, anyways, um, so let's go down to where it says observance. So in Africa, the Voodoo religion of the Fon people has four overlapping elements: public gods, personal or private gods, ancestral spirits, and magic or charms. Okay. In its traditional religion, West Africa, creation starts with a female supreme being called Nana Buluku, who gave birth to Mawu and Leza and created the universe. After giving birth, the Mother Supreme retired and left everything to Mawu and Leza, moon, sun, female, male deities, spirits, and earth universe. Mawu Leza created numerous minor and imperfect deities. In Fon belief, the feminine deity Mawu had to work with the tricksters Leba and the snake Ado Widow to create living beings, a method of creation that imbued the good, the bad, and a destiny for every creature, including human beings, only by appeasing lesser deities. And Leba in Fon theology can one change that destiny. This appeasing requires rituals and offerings to the lesser gods and ancestral spirits who are believed to have ability to do favors for human beings. Okay. And then it goes on to talk about the Americas. As millions of West Africans were captured and enslaved during the colonial era, then shipped across the Atlantic to work on sugarcane, cotton, and tobacco plantation, they brought with them their religious ideas, including those about Nana Baluku. She is celebrated as Nana in Candabale Jeje, and Taber de Menya as a Nana Baruku in Cannabole Kitu, where she is pictured as a very old lady or a very old woman, older than creation itself. She is found in French, Dutch, and British West Indies in particular, such as among the African heritage communities of French Guyana, Suriname, Guyana, Brazil, Trinidad, Martinique, Haiti, and other Caribbean islands. Okay. All right. So as you can go down here, you can see what it says. See also traditional African religion portal. And then you got the references right here at the bottom of the page. Right. Okay. Then you got the further reading, and also you got the external links. All right, so give me a second. So there's a book that can be found on Google. This book is called West African Religion, Yoruba, Igbo, and Kindred Peoples by Jeffrey Perander, forward by Edwin Smith. Okay. All right. So that's one book. The other book that I have, and I want to share with you guys. This book right here is called Our Mothers, Our Power, Our Text, Manifestation of Ajay in Africana Literature. Okay. So let's go into that for a moment. By Teresa N. Washington. Okay. So it talks about the African literature and the African diaspora. So anytime you see the term Africana, that represents the diaspora. So when you see the word Africana, that represents the diaspora. Okay, so that book came out in 2005. Okay, let's look at the introduction. Well, I'm not going to go into the intro. I'm just going to kind of skip it. Okay. So it says, my daughter Teresa, she wants to know how the mother operates. She wants to know the story of the mysterious mother, the one we beg to have. Just as they say it, so am I saying it now. Please have mercy. Or was it Oye Ranke Ibe Nola. Neo Hoodoo is a Lantisy seeking its text. Ishmael Reed. Okay. Okay, all right. So as you can see, it's written in the Yoruba language, and I'm not good at reading the Yoruba language. All right. But let's see what it says. Ajay in Yoruba land. The powers of the mothers. Right. This is the overview. Okay, so it says the Yoruba of Southwest Nigeria have many praise names for the fertile, protective, and creative mothers who people the earth, protect their children, and ensure evolution. Iwan Ilawa, which means our mother. Iwan Iyame Osoronga, the great and mysterious mother. Yiwa Jobe, which means the mother of all the Orisha and all living things. Agbalaba, old and wise one. And succinctly, Aye, the earth. Whatever appellation they are given by their children, these women are recognized as the spiritual and terrestrial gods of society and the owners of everything in the world. The mothers enjoy suzerainty because of a force called Ajay. Although Ajay resists English language definition, as do many African concepts, Deidre Badejo defines it as an embodiment of power, an expression of the matrix of potentiality from which the power emanates. Yoruba cultural analysis Ayo Ape Fayintimi asserts that Ajay endows women with celestial terrestrial sophistication and arrival powers that surpass those of men. Henry Druvel and Margaret Drevell defined it as women's possession of the secret of life itself. Okay, and always already force that has always exist and is ever prepared for action. IJ is depicted in Yoruba stories and Adu Ifa divination versus of the Ifa spiritual system, the Yoruba way of knowing, as a biological, physical, and spiritual force of creativity and social and political enforcement. Okay. All right, so a vastly influential power that is inclined towards paradox and multiplicity. IJ is holistic and neutral and can be used in myriad ways depending upon the entity wielding the power and the circumstances and motivation dictating the action. In addition to being a cosmic force that originated with great mother deities, IJ is a naturally occurring property of select human beings. Women of IJs have many significant attributes and roles in society. They are bestowed with spiritual vision, divine authorities, power of the word, and sorry about that. I'm back, you guys. All right, so where did I leave off at? Okay, so where I was leaving off at, basically, I was reading where it talks about the IJ, right, and talks about the the cultural practice of the African customs within the diaspora. So where I was leaving off was a vastly influential power that is inclined towards paradox and multiplicity, right? IJ is holistic and neutral and can be used in myriad ways depending upon the entity wielding the power and the circumstance and motivation dictating the actions. In addition to being a cosmic force that originated with great mother deities, IJ is a naturally occurring property of selected human beings. Women of IJ have many significant attributes and roles in society. They are bestowed with spiritual vision, divine authority, power of the word, and Ashe, the power to bring desire and ideas into being. As children of Imole, the mother of earth, they control agricultural fertility and plant life. Holistic healing is an important aspect of IJ, and its welders use their incomparable knowledge and ownership of flora and fauna to create nourishment, healing, elixirs, and poisons. IJ also enacts spiritual communication through the divination and oral power of the word. Most important, one Ila Wa are teachers whose gifts, lessons, trials, and punishments compel their community to seek higher levels of spiritual evolution and redirect misguided destiny direction of power. Okay. Then it goes on to say part of their evolutionary education and social work involves dispensation dispensation of justice. IJ are feared for their astral outing, which are untaken largely to punish trespassers of cosmic and terrestrial laws. The following are possible retaliation for offenses committed against the earth deity. In addition to cases of inexplicable deaths, a female victim may have her menstrual blood stop or trickle for years. Her fetus may be speared out of her and hung high over an oroko tree. A man's penis may lose its erection or may be denuded of sperms or active spermatozoa. There may be eruption of mysterious illnesses, etc. Okay. And it says spirituality and physically powerful women use their astral forms to slay offenders and deliberate on communal and political issues may sound harrowing, right? But it is important to note that Adu Dawa, who is regarded in many circles as the progenitor of the Yoruba peoples, is the tutelary Orisha embodiment of Ajay, and Ajay is one of the original components she used to create the earth. Not only do Aduduwa's daughter Awan Ilawa act under her auspices, they also use their power with discretion and in accordance with ordinate rules of which no breach is allowed. In addition to rules involving group consensus for astral punishment, IJ specifically and human beings in general follow these simple but important terrestrial laws. Okay? And it says, 1, do not dabble in herbalism. Do not use herbs without thorough knowledge of their nature and use in cosmic approval. Do not display wealth. And 3, share everything. Okay. Then it goes on to say that Yoruba spiritualist Samuel M. Opila contends that Ajay balance the social fabric and are against class system and exploitation. He finds that Ajay's tolerance contributes to a healthy and expansive society. The tolerance to which Opela refers is an aspect of Iwa Pele, superb composed character, in contrast to witches who are described as temperamental, vicious, and quick to take offenses. A1 Ilawa are typically cool, patient, composed, and disinclined to emotional outbursts. These elderly women and priestesses are considered neither antisocial nor the personification of evil. Rather, they form an important segment of the population in any town and tend to be shown much respect and affection. Because of their special power, they have greater access to the Yoruba deities. They occupy a position subordinate to those of the supreme deity, Olodumare, and of Orunmila, god of the Ifa divination system, and equal or superior to that of the gods. All right, and I'm just going to stop right there. So, again, if you guys want to check this book out, it's called Our Mothers, Our Power, and Our Text. So I'm going to personally read more into that book myself, but just want to pretty much give the idea of how, the whole concept of the spiritual system and the whole thing about the African deities, African goddesses, and what they represent and why they represent such principles. Okay. And so, again, this is the segment about African goddesses and deities. All right. So I'm going to do more. So I'm going to be doing part 2. I'll keep you guys posted on that. But if you guys like more information, if you're on my Facebook page, I will post more information out about Nana Buluku and Mawu Lesa. I will post up information about those two. And I'll post up the book if you guys want to read more about them. All right. So that's it. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching and supporting the channel. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And with that being said, this is your girl Tiffany. I'm logging out. With that being the case, peace and power elevation. And please be safe. Be careful. And that's all I can tell you. And I hope y'all enjoy this video. Okay, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the channel, like the channel, check out the video contents on here. All right, check all my previous videos out, and that's it. All right, logging off. Deuces. Oh, I forgot to read this comment. Much African culture in Africa was destroyed and lost in Africa, but that same culture survived in the West, like Brazil, as well as the islands. Yeah, it did, but there are some cultures that still is preserved in Africa. However, because of the colonialism, it's not openly practiced out in public. So those who were, those countries that was under colonialism for a long period of time, right? They started to take on the Abrahamic religion, and those Abrahamic religion became the dominant religion, right? While all the African traditional religion was just kept in the villages. So they're still around. It's just only practiced in the villages. It's not really practiced out in the open because it's not really accepted in the open. So, you know what I'm saying? So, those who are in the Abrahamic religion, they're not accepting them. They're looking at them and say, oh, these are witchcraft, these are evil, blah, 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 blah. You can't practice this out in the open, so you're gonna have to keep that to yourself, type of thing. So it's still around. Yeah, those traditional practice still around. It's just they can't really be practiced out in the open. That's all it is. But you're right, it did survive in the culture like Brazil and the Caribbeans and certain parts of America. I agree. All right, then. So until then, y'all have a good one. And this your girl Tiffany. I'm out.